There are rules in the university library. No food, no loud conversation, no access to the restricted archive, and never under any circumstances remove a book that has no catalog number. Most students never learn why. I did. Finals week always changes the atmosphere of the library. During the day, the building feels crowded with students whispering over textbooks and tapping nervously at laptop keyboards. Pages turn quickly, chairs scrape across the floor, and the quiet hum of anxiety hangs in the air like static. But at night, the library becomes something else. It feels enormous and empty, as if the building itself is tired of being awake. The tall windows reflect only darkness outside. Inside, fluorescent lights hum steadily above long rows of wooden tables. The heating system clicks behind the walls at slow, uneven intervals, like something mechanical struggling to stay alive. Every sound carries farther than it should. Even breathing feels loud. I've been studying for hours when I notice something strange. A gap between two shelves. At first, I think it is just shadow, the kind your eyes invent when exhaustion sets in. But when I stand and walk toward the philosophy stacks, the opening remains. A narrow passage between the shelves. It wasn't there before. I know these rows well. I have studied in this exact spot for 3 years. The shelves have always stood tightly together, unmoving and predictable. Now there is space between them, dark, silent, waiting. Curiosity never feels dangerous in quiet places. I step inside. The temperature drops immediately. The air smells older, thick with dust and paper decay, like sealed rooms that haven't been opened in decades. The carpet beneath my shoes softens, absorbing every step until my movement makes no sound at all. Behind me, the normal sounds of the library disappear. No turning pages, no quiet coughing, no distant conversation, only silence. The passage stretches farther than it should, lined with shelves filled with books whose spines have no titles. Their covers are faded and identical, like placeholders instead of real volumes. The deeper I walk, the heavier the air becomes. My ears pop slightly, as if I am descending underground. I realize I can no longer hear the ventilation system, or anything else. At the end of the passage stands a single wooden table, and on the table sits a book. It looks ancient, black leather cover, no title, no markings. The leather is cracked but not worn, as if time has touched it but no human hands ever have. The edges of the pages are darkened with age, yet perfectly aligned. The table itself is spotless. No dust, no scratches, nothing else. Just the book. For a moment, I simply stood there, listening to the silence gather around me. The air feels thicker near the table, almost warm, as though the book itself is giving off heat. A strange certainty settles in my chest. The book has been waiting, not for anyone. For someone. For me. My hand moves forward before I can stop it. My fingers touch the cover. The leather feels warm, alive. Slowly, carefully, I open the book. The first page is blank. The paper is thick and slightly yellow with age, but perfectly smooth. When I run my fingers across it, I feel no ink impressions, no scratches, no signs that anything has ever been written there. I turn the page. The second page is not blank. It contains a list of names. Students, professors, librarians. Typed in neat, perfectly aligned columns that stretch from the top of the page to the bottom. The ink looks darker than ordinary printer ink, almost glossy under the dim light. There are hundreds of names. Some I recognize immediately, others I do not. My eyes move slowly down the page, scanning each line without understanding why I feel afraid. Then I saw it. My name, at the bottom of the list. Beneath it is today's date. My throat tightens. I stare at the page, waiting for the letters to rearrange themselves into something else, waiting for the illusion to break. But my name remains. Unmistakable. The silence around me feels heavier now, pressing against my ears. I swallow and turn the page. More names. The next page contains another list just as long as the first. Different names, arranged in the same precise columns. Some names have thin black lines drawn through them. The lines are perfectly straight, as if made with a ruler. Next to other names are dates. Tomorrow's date, repeated and again. My fingers feel cold against the paper. I turn another page. More names. The pages feel heavier now, thicker than they should be. The paper makes a slower sound when it turns, like damp cardboard instead of dry parchment. The air smells different, sharp, like ink, fresh ink. I look back at the page I just turned. The names are still, unmoving. But I feel certain they weren't a moment ago. My breathing sounds too loud in the narrow passage. I turn another page. The ink looks darker now. Some of the letters seem slightly blurred, as if still drying. A faint tapping sound echoes somewhere behind me. I freeze. The sound stops. I turn another page. More names. Some of them look incomplete, like words erased halfway through writing. The smell of ink grows stronger. It burns slightly at the back of my throat. I realize my hands are shaking. I turn another page, and another, and another. Each page heavier than the last. Each page is darker, each page quieter. The silence feels alive now, listening to the slow rhythm of paper turning. I stop at a page where several names are being crossed out, not scratched violently, carefully, methodically, as if updated. My pulse begins to race. The list continues to the next page, and the next, and the next, until only a few pages remain. I hesitate before turning the next one, but I cannot stop. I turn it, and the sound behind me returns. Wood sliding across carpet. Slow, deliberate, closer than before. The sound behind me continues. Slow, heavy, deliberate. I do not turn around immediately. Something deep in my chest tells me that if I look, I will see something I cannot understand. The air feels thicker now, harder to breathe. Another shelf moves, closer. The sound is unmistakable. I turn slowly. The passage behind me has changed. It is longer than before. The entrance to the library is gone. Only darkness remains where it should be. The shelves lining the passage no longer stand in straight rows. Some lean inward slightly, narrowing the space. My heart begins to pound. I turned back to the book. It is still open in my hands, waiting. I flip to the next page. The ink looks darker than before. Some names are changing. Letters shift slightly. New names appearing. Others fading. Updating. The smell of ink fills the air again. Stronger now, fresh, almost metallic. Another sound behind me. A shelf sliding forward, then stopping, as if listening. I swallow hard. My hands tremble as I turn another page. The paper feels thicker, heavier, like turning thin sheets of wood instead of paper. The silence around me feels aware. The book grows warmer in my hands. Not hot, just warm, like skin. I reach a page where several names are being crossed out in real time. The lines appear slowly, drawn across the letters without any visible hand holding the pen. One name disappears completely. Another is replaced. My breath catches in my throat. The shelves move again, closer. I can feel the air shifting behind me as they slide, closing the passage. My escape. I turn another page. Only a few pages remain, each one darker than the last. The ink smells stronger now, sharp and chemical. My eyes sting. My fingers feel numb. Another shelf slides. Closer still. I hear the soft sound of books shifting in place as if disturbed by the movement. The space around me is shrinking. The passage is closing. The book feels heavier with each second. I turn another page. The lists are shorter now. Fewer names. More crossed out. More dates. Tomorrow's date. Again, again, again. My breathing becomes shallow. I reach the final page. I hesitate. The shelves stop moving. The silence returns. Waiting. I turn the page. The final page contains only one sentence. The archive knows who reads. The ink is still wet. A drop slides slowly down the page. Then the lights go out. Not flickering, not dimming. Gone. Darkness fills the passage completely. I hear the shelves begin moving again, faster now, sliding toward me. Closing in. I run. I do not remember turning. I do not remember finding the exit. But suddenly I am back in the main library, surrounded by students studying under steady fluorescent lights. No one reacts. No one looks up. The gap between the shelves is gone. The table is gone. The book is gone. Everything is normal. Too normal. I stand there trying to steady my breathing. My hands are empty. The smell of ink is gone. The silence is gone. Only the library remains. I walk slowly to the catalog terminal. My hands shake as I type my student ID. The screen blinks once. No record found.